Hey man, what's up?
Hey, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there.
No. I actually started or I wanted to start the recording of the coaching, but I accidentally clicked the wrong button to end the live stream instead. So
Okay, no worries. I was like, oh crap, we're starting us off real good. I've hung up on him.
no worries. I clicked the wrong button, like brilliant. It's basically right on top of each other. It's like stop streaming, and then it says like start recording, and I click stop streaming.
Okay.
All
So how you
good, man.
doing, man? You got everything working with the computer?
Yeah. I actually got everything back up and running. It's very nice to have a working computer.
Yeah, tell me about it. I woke up today and one of the 120 millimeter fans on the top of my computer is unbalanced, so it's making a bunch of rackets. So I've got half my
Uh-huh.
computer torn apart next to me. So yep, it's always something.
Whoa, wait, the fan actually killed everything, or well, what did it do?
No. It's not dead. It's just that the fan, the blades are unbalanced. So
Yeah.
it's creating a lot of chatter. So
Oh,
I have to go figure out what I'm gonna do. Uh, See what kind of different brands out there or something. I don't know.
yeah. No, I thought you meant like it like fell out or something and it like broke other stuff. That'd be the worst, honestly.
No, no. Even if I don't get a new fan, the everything's on liquid cool. It's a custom built machine, so it'll be
Ah,
okay. But I try to have as much fan flow as possible.
yeah. Yeah, I got way too many of them in there right now.
Oh yeah.
The entire chat is saying hi, Steve. I don't know if you have the the stream open by any chance.
I don't. Give
It
me.
doesn't really matter. I was just wondering.
Okay.
This is like
Yeah.
a
No.
bunch of guys saying hi, Steve.
Oh, hello everybody. Hello. I'm on the internet, but not as famous as Loco.
So famous, man. So famous. So you mentioned you haven't really been playing too much, right?
No, the last couple of weeks I've actually had to take it easy because of I'm in working 14-hour days plus it's the end of the summer
Ooh.
semester. So this whole weekend I was up for 30 hours yesterday, 30 straight hours doing paperwork and class notes and stuff. So
Oh
I'm
man.
probably going to be a little rusty, but I used to play a bunch of games every day. I was top 10 in gold,
Uh-huh.
trying to transition into platinum, and that's when I had to sort of take a break.
All right. Yeah, 14-hour days are, a little bit long. A
Yeah,
little
I love the military.
bit. Yeah, so you just have to attend classes and whatnot as well, or
Yeah, everything's online, so it's
ah,
just a couple of 400 level business classes.
just take some time. Cool.
Yeah,
All right, if you could join group LowkoTV or chat channel LowkoTV, that'd be cool.
I'm
What's
already
your?
there.
Oh yeah, Keldon, is that you?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna wonder. I've had it before where I accidentally invited the wrong guy into a party. I was like observing all the statistics and whatnot, and turns out it's like a complete stranger.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, yeah. So you managed to finish as Gold League twice. Cool. So how long have you been playing StarCraft for? Have you been playing a long time?
I used to play back in the originals, like back when the shareware came out, but I never really played competitive until
Mm-hmm.
just a couple of months ago. I started getting back into it.
All right. Cool. So playing, yeah, since a couple months. Yeah. So have you seen me do any kind of coaching before?
Oh yeah, every time you put up
All right.
gold or
Oh
level
right.
or
Yeah.
higher, I watch it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you have an idea of how it's going.
Yeah, it was actually because of your coaching that I was able to get as high as I was.
Cool. I'm glad. Well, let's see if I can help you out as well. All right, all seasons. Yeah, so you haven't been able to. Oh, actually, the new season started today, so I can't blame you for not playing any ranked games yet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was hoping to maintain top 10, but I couldn't afford the time away from schoolwork, so
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. All right, so your Zerg versus Protoss is 55%, Zerg versus Terran 61, and Zerg versus Zerg is 47%.
yeah, Zerg versus Zerg is usually my weakest point. It's usually I'll misread, so I'll build a bunch of Zerglings and Banelings because that's what I think they're doing, and then they'll come out with
Mm-hmm.
Roaches, or I'll go Roaches, and then they'll come out with Zerglings and Banelings, and but I'm generally pretty good against Protoss. Terran's kind of hit or miss. If they go heavy mech, then it's really hard for me to adapt.
Okay.
Uh, but
Yeah, fair enough. No, it's actually kind of funny. You have almost twice as many Zerg games as you do Terran and Protoss. A lot of people actually from North America that are hovering around Gold League that have like twice as many Zerg versus Zergs as they have any of the other matchups. Like you have 58 games versus Zerg and 31 against Terran and Protoss.
yeah, there'll be days where it's just Zerg after Zerg after Zerg, and I just have to stop playing because I just can't seem to get a win.
All right. Yeah, your win loss is not awful though. It's pretty solid actually. Fair enough. Cool. So you want to do ZVZ today, I assume?
Yeah, we can work on ZVZ, and then I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of practice against a Protoss. Not a sorry, a Terran.
All right. Yeah. So usually it's best to just start with like at least one focus, and then we'll just see if we can you know, squeeze in the other matchup as well. So so ideally we do Zerg versus Zerg first, and then some Zerg versus Terran as well. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, micro is the answer to pretty much everything, but that's obviously a little tricky in ZVZ.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a little rusty with that right now. But for a while I had a decent strategy going, and then it's just
All right. Yeah, we can have a look at it. Cool. So do you have like one certain goal in mind of what you really, really want to do in StarCraft, or you just play and see how high you can go?
honestly, just get how high I can go. I know I've been told by a couple different people that I've actually got I could easily do platinum, possibly diamond, but right now it's just getting consistent at reading what the other player's doing and then responding in kind. I would say my biggest weakness right now is just economic spending. Like I never keep the mineral count down or the gas count down.
Yeah, so spending and scouting. Cool. And then I would assume the macro and whatnot is solid, because you say as soon as it goes to like the mid game, it's all good.
Yeah, the mid game is generally okay.
Cool.
I'm generally pretty decent on keeping the injects up.
All right, cool. Yeah, so probably what we can do best is just have a look at the replays first, or like a replay or so, and then maybe just, you know, jump into a game straight away. We can maybe look at like one or two replays. It doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, let me find one that I had one picked up.
All right. Yeah, I just tossed you the party lead as well.
All right, I think that one's gonna be it.
Dude, it's so warm in here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the AC's kind of cranked up a little bit here.
Yeah, we don't have that, man. We have like five good days a year, so
No kidding.
Yeah, we have like really bad weather. But apparently this week it's gonna go up to 37 degrees Celsius.
No kidding.
I don't know. That's apparently 98 Fahrenheit. I don't know if that's hot or not, but
it's I'm in upstate New York, so it's I think about 70 degrees outside right now. I don't honestly have any idea. I've been inside all weekend. Okay, so this one can't quite remember if I win this game or not. One of the notes I did have was that I didn't move out soon enough, and that seems to be a common occurrence with me. Is I don't move out soon enough. I'll wait too long, and then I wait so long that they've overwhelmed me.
Okay, so yeah, moving out is tough. Okay, cool. So what's like your go-to plan? Like what do you usually do when you load up ZVZ?
When I do ZVZ, is I'll do the standard 14 pool, 15 hatch, typically 3 or 4 queens. By that point, I'll typically see if they're going roaches or banelings, and then if I see roaches, I'll try to go roaches. And I also try to keep an eye on what their natural, how many workers they have at their natural.
Cool. All right. So you usually focus on a mid game with roaches, or do you usually focus more on Zergling Bane, or?
I try to go roaches Hydra.
Cool. All right. So yeah, basically safe opener into Roach Hydra, if I understand correctly. Cool. Excited for Legacy. That's good.
Yeah. I'm excited for Legacy.
There's a lot of people getting access right now. Well, ZVZ isn't much different. It's just that lurkers wreck everything, but...
Yeah, I've seen a lot of your videos. I'm looking forward to seeing the lurkers again.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. Alright, so I think you could probably get that gas a little bit earlier. It's just a little... It's not so much that it's like a bad timing right now. It's just a little risky if you're not completely sure what your opponent is going for. So usually... the timing on the gas geyser would be right when the spawning pool finishes, when you go pool first. That would be a good timing for it. It's just gonna make your Baneling Nest and all that a little earlier as well. Should be a little safer all around. Not the biggest of deals though.
And then generally what I'll do is I'll send the 2 overlords around the outside of the perimeter, and then when I find their bases, I'll set up a perimeter of overlords around.
Okay, yeah. So if you could go back to, I think it was like 5 minutes or so. Because you end up making like a lot of Zerglings, but then you don't actually have much of a plan for it. That's sort of a thing that I was wondering about right there. I don't know exactly if it was 5 minutes though. But I feel like you made like a lot of Zerglings all of a sudden. I was like wondering if you had like a reason why you ended up making them. I'm just looking at your vision right now as well. So
I think what it was is I typically saw. What it was is I saw that he was making quite a few Zerglings, and I didn't see a whole lot of workers, so I figured he was going all in. So I've made a bunch of Zerglings as a defense.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. Yeah, yeah. So I would definitely yeah. If you could pause it for like a second, I would definitely like get that gas guys a little earlier. Because if you end up making these Zerglings right now, which is actually a good response to what you scouted, you could at the very least like also try and be aggressive with them. Because right now they're just gonna sit in the natural for like another, you know, while until that Zergling speed is done. You see where I'm coming from? Like it's just gonna make them a little more useless. So that's the first thing I suppose that I would do. But I like the scouting right there. It's actually very good. Cool.
Yeah, he's already got the speed, so I'm already at a pretty big disadvantage.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think he piled up a bunch of gas as well before starting this at the Zergling speed. But cool. Do you usually skip out on the Baneling Nest, or do you try? You know, did you just end up not making it in this game?
I think I end up making it eventually a little bit later. ZVZ, it just depends. Like I'll almost never build the Baneling Nest against Protoss because I go straight roaches. Terrans, if it depends on what I scout. If I see he's going mech, then I don't. Otherwise, I'll build it.
Okay. Oh man, balls of steel right here. Fighting on the Baneling cocoons, but it worked out.
Oop, sorry, didn't mean to pause it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like it's like you're taking a lot of damage right here for no like real reason. Okay, I think it's gonna be a lot easier to just simply get that gas geyser and then go Zergling speed and then straight into a Baneling Nest. Like don't delay the Baneling Nest, just go straight into the Baneling Nest. As soon as you have to 50 gas. Because you're doing like all of this correctly, right? The road switch is actually at a pretty reasonable time as well. It's just that you took a lot of damage right here that wasn't really necessary. And I think if you could prevent that, the transition to the mid game would be really easy. Yeah, I guess as far as overlords go, you know, an overlord somewhere in the middle would be huge. But
yeah, I think at that point I just kind of panicked because I saw he was overwhelming me, so I figured he was just going to keep making Zerglings and going for the kill. So
yeah, that seems to be the case as well here. So first change I would make is get the gas geyser after finishing the spawning pool at latest. And then Zergling speed first, then straight into Baneling Nest. And in most scenarios, like if you would say you're most of the time like the defensive player, which seems to be the case here, when you make the Baneling Nest, it's also really useful to get the spine crawler going. So just like it's like you're getting all of the things here as well, but I think it's easier to just tie them together a little bit more.
Right. And see already at this point I can see I'm being too defensive. I'm not building excuse me, I'm not building enough drones on the natural. And usually by this point I have a third, typically around the 9-minute point.
Yeah, I think the best thing to keep in mind whenever you're playing is to like whenever you make units, just think if you actually really need those units. Because like there's a couple of scenarios here where you end up making a lot of army, but then actually not really use the army at all. Like right now you got a lot of stuff just sitting around, you know?
That happens a lot in a lot of my games, honestly, is I'll build a massive army or I'll build a substantial army and I don't move out with it, and so I'll lose because I just sit around. Okay. Well, that's actually a pretty solid problem to have, though. So I think the first thing to do in that scenario is to have like a plan in mind, okay? So in this place, for example, what would be a really strong timing is to go for the Zergling or for the roach speed and go for the +1 missile upgrade. And then right when those two upgrades finish, you move out across the map. And at least like have that plan in mind, because moving out right now, it's a little risky. It's a little risky right here. And he actually has roach speed himself, so it's a little tough. Yeah, he probably could have killed me right there. I think honestly, a lot of times that I win is not based on my skill necessarily, as so much as that the opponent makes a really bad mistake or a series of really bad mistakes that I capitalize on.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, because macro-wise, it's not really the issue, right? I mean, I'm really missing queen injects, or maybe a couple, but you don't really. Like you said, you were having trouble spending, but it's going just fine so far.
Yeah, but if you look at the bank, I've got like 1,000
Mm-hmm.
gold. Or typically, what the spending will go is I'll accumulate a massive amount of minerals and gas, and then spam a bunch of units, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's up and down, up and down. It's not really consistent.
Okay, yeah. So I think the main thing to keep in mind is whenever you make army, just think if you actually really need that army. Okay, so most of the time, like the idea is that if you have drones mining for longer, they will obviously get more income over time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you make like any kind of brooches or zerglings, just ask yourself if you actually really need them. And I think in most scenarios, at least in this game, you really didn't need them for, you know, like another couple minutes. And then the second thing is like have that plan in mind of what you want to go for. So I would say like getting the upgrades going and making sure they line up at the same time, like around the same time, and they finish up around the same time, is really useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think at this point I'm acting in desperation with all the spine crawlers.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point it's pretty much game over.
Yeah.
Cool. But that's fair enough though. Yeah, so I think mainly to take away from that game is not so much the build and whatnot, although we could have gotten the gas a little earlier. I think you're fine as far as like strategy goes, I suppose, in the middle part of the game. It's mostly just having a plan, I suppose. Like just have a plan of something that you want to go for. So instead of like moving out when you have a big army, move out when an upgrade finishes up, or like move out when you know, roach speed finishes up or something like that. But at least like move out at like a timing that's useful instead of like, you know, just like piling up a massive army and then moving across the map.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But that's cool though. That's something you can easily work on. That's just, you know, a little timing that you need to know, and then you can just implement it easily. Let's just look at one more ZVZ if you have one, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, so I have a plan in mind.
Not that. Oh, not. Apparently, I double clicked.
Oh man, I hate that so much.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, so I have a plan / timing push in mind. Whenever you make units, ask yourself if you need them. Sometimes it's pretty funny to watch like one of the pro gamers replays and just watch it from their point of view, and just see like how they respond in certain scenarios. You know, like most of the time, if they would have scouted like 8 Zerglings right there in their base, they would have just queued up like 20 drones instead of like you know, respond with a lot of Zerglings. It's just things like that maybe maybe a little worth it, or like worth it a little bit.
Where did it go? I had it set out aside.
No
I
big
hate
deal.
this.
But spending wise and whatnot, it looks solid though. Like the way you were approaching it was good.
Thank you. Oh, there it is. Where did it go?
It disappeared.
Yeah, this is frustrating. All right, let's go that one. Where's now? I gotta find it. All right, here we go.
Maybe useful as well to just play some games and have me like talk you through what you should probably be doing, and maybe that gives you a little more insight about you know, approaching these weird scenarios, right? When you see random Zerglings and stuff.
Yeah, I've been playing a few. I was able to play a couple of custom games, and it was very obvious I was rusty at first, and then after a couple of games, I started getting back into it. But it's still falling back into that recognition and spending.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense though. Cool.
Yeah, the first couple of minutes of the game is I used to have it down real well. I knew exactly what the timings were. I mean, there's really nothing else you're doing though, other than the basic building. And then once you get the scouting and the counter production in, that's when it starts going a little.
Yeah. Oh, scouting for the spine. Yeah, so this gas timer is a little bit more reasonable, but you see what I mean with like starting up this, or like when the spawning pool finishes.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little faster. Oh, and 2 in gas is a little risky, but yeah, in the end, like most of it is just, you know, practice and like losing a whole lot of times over and over to the same shit.
yeah, that gets frustrating is when you keep losing to the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it would be useful if you could pause for a second to just be a little more strict. So first Zergling speed, then Baneling Nest plus spine crawler, and just like combine those kind of things together instead of like randomly at a pretty random or reasonably random time get the spine crawler going.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely just get the Baneling Nest much earlier, just for safety. Even if you don't plan on making any Banelings, it's still worth getting it.
Right.
Scouting is solid though.
Yeah, I think the Overlord I've got
Mm-hmm.
right there. I don't know why. That's just my default. Is I'll put the default there and there, and generally they're not really vulnerable unless I'm playing Terran or Protoss.
Oh man, we're making so many units.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I should have had an Overlord up there to see that.
Yeah, I think honestly, if you would have had the Baneling Nest up, it would have been really easy to defend this like initial engagement that he did. Oh, he's killing all kinds of larvae.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, so that just comes down to the Baneling Nest being really late.
Yeah, I usually don't do something like that, but I think that was after, a small period I took off.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of tightening it up a little bit, and you should be good to go. Just a quick tip, if you see morphing banelings and you wanna like kill it with your banelings, you're gonna need 3. Does that make sense? Like if you have, like you had 3 banelings right there, if you run them into a clump of building banelings, or like morphing banelings, they will actually explode all of them.
Okay.
Which is very useful as well. I think you could have like killed like pretty much all of those beans if you saw them a little easier. But... Oh man, 1 hero Zergling.
Yeah, I didn't want to watch a game that I won. I felt that watching some bad games might help me a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
But in this one, you can clearly see he's very much outproducing me.
Yeah. Yeah, it all comes down honestly though to like both making army and drones at the same time. Like it's like a little bit of both all the time, and it's much easier to focus that more and then just get a much bigger army a little later on. Because like constantly you're adding on a couple Zerglings and then you're adding on a couple more drones and a couple Zerglings and then a couple more drones. And I see why you do it. Like I totally understand why you do it. It's just not really necessary in most scenarios. Damn banelings.
Yeah, I think I GG out of here pretty soon.
That makes sense. Cool. All right, we can just go ahead and play a game and go from there. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Do you have like anyone you want to play against, or should we just pull someone from the chat?
No, none of my friends play StarCraft. They all played Hearthstone or Heroes.
Oh, all right. At least they play Blizzard games, man.
Yeah, well, a lot of
them play like Dota.
Yeah, I tried League of Legends and I just couldn't get into it, and then I picked up the Arkham Knight, so I've been able to play a little bit of that. So
you were? I've heard so many complaints about that.
You know, it's funny. Like people complain about it all the time, but I haven't had any issues with it at all. It's been running at a solid 70 frames a second. I mean, I had to go in and change the max frame per second limit in the game files, but it runs as ice.
Oh, that's sick. I don't know. Anyway, guys, if anyone wants to help us out, feel free to join group LowkoTV on the North American server. So we're on North America. Just join group LowkoTV and just say, hey, I'm gold, or hey, I'm silver, something like that. And I'll invite you into the party, and we'll go from there.
Wait a minute.
Oh, as far as it goes, thank you very much for hitting that sub button, man. Welcome. I'm glad to have you. Yeah, there should be plenty of Gold League Zergs. Oh, could you actually toss me the party lead?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Let me do that.
That's no big deal.
There we go.
Yeah, Diamond would be a bit rough, but we'll go with Lex right here. Thanks for the help, guys. We can switch out someone else in a little bit.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see if we'll see the level of play we wanna be facing a little bit, guys. Thanks. All right, so the plan for this first game is to be focused purely on tightening up the build order, and whenever you make like any kind of units, just ask yourself if you really need them. Okay, that's gonna be like the main focus. So whenever you make any kind of Zerglings, just ask yourself, hey, do I actually really need those links right now? And if you're not sure, just pause the game or whatever, and we can just talk about it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try and give as much like help during this one as possible, and then, you know, in the next couple of games we'll I'll talk less.
Okay. All right.
Try to. All right. Do you have any maps you would like to play on?
Any of the any of the ladder 1v1 maps except the lava pools. I hate that map.
Yep. Everyone hates that map. Oh, there's a new map in here. Dash and Terminal, Moonlight Madness. I heard about new maps, but I haven't actually played them yet.
I don't think I've actually seen that.
They changed the new season started today, so I think they added the new maps in.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get to playing.
Zil Menoso, thank you very much as well for being a sub. 2 months in a row. Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Legacy, but I think I'm gonna have to completely relearn how to play the game.
It's not so much that, to be honest. Like, a lot of these things carry over just fine in every matchup. Like the idea of like making drones first and then units and stuff, it's still the exact same concept, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the mechanics as well are, you know, really similar.
Yeah, the new Zerg, or not the new Zerg unit, but the new Protoss units are kind of intimidating. I think with the Alkalites, those are kind of intimidating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Adepts, yeah.
Yep, that's right, the Adepts, that's right.
Yeah, they're tough. They're not really gonna change, I don't think, though. But they said they're gonna change the Disruptor up completely, so we'll see.
Yeah, I like the Disruptor. I like how expensive it is.
Yeah. It's a big ball of death, and you can't even A-move it. It's literally it. It's like the best inside joke Blizzard has ever done. Alright, so I'm just watching this game as well from your point of view, so I don't know anything else.
Okay.
And,
is this on the normal speed?
yep, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't look any slower to me.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is. Guys in the chat, can anyone confirm? This is just normal speed, right? No, it is. I didn't change anything. I'm like 90% sure. Alright. I know what you mean, though. Like, sometimes the game just feels like things are going slowly or something. No, it's good, I think. Alright, so we'll just go for the exact same strategy that you went for. Except we get the gas guys then a little earlier. Okay. And then get the Zergling speed first, and then a Baneling Nest and a Spine at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just a normal speed. Cool.
I'm generally, whew, there goes my voice. Generally hit pretty calm as far as the APM in the early game, and then it'll pick up really hardcore in the mid game.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I didn't really feel like you had a lack of actions there. It's most like more like a lack of a plan.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But that's easy though. Like, the mechanics are the ones that, like, the things that take most of the time. The actual plan is learnable, I suppose. How many queens did you end up going, by the way, in the previous games?
Typically with ZVZ, I'll typically go. I try to aim for 4, but usually always at least 3.
Okay, yeah, all right. Let's go for the same thing here. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you only had 2 right there. 2 is just so. It's just, yeah. Technically it works, but then you need a micro pretty much perfect as well. Alright, so usually you make an overlord at 14 here, and so you can start like the 3 things at once, but that's all good.
Alright. Yeah, I generally go drone, queen immediately, and then an overlord.
Yep. So you want to take the gas right now. Cool. Alright, yeah, and the overlord and then a set of zerglings. Don't lose your first overlord, by the way. Cool. It's looking good. Alright, actually, one sec.
Okay.
How do you have your shit hotkeyed? I'm kind of curious because you got it set up to 0.
Yeah, I usually have my primary groups will be like there's Zerglings will be group 1, roaches will be group 2, and then hydras like range casters will be like 3, and then queens are 5, and then I think I have the base key is the backspace key or the delete key, so I think it's backspace.
Okay, but like, how do you where do you have your hotkeys? Do you, or like your head trees? Do you have to bet 0?
Yeah.
Wait, so you like jump across the keyboard?
Yeah, a little bit, but it's comfortable. So I've been told it's weird.
Yeah, alright, I've never actually seen that before. Yeah, I wouldn't really recommend jumping around. It seems like a bit of a waste of time, but if you feel comfortable with it, I guess it's okay.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, fair enough. If you feel like messing with your head, I would probably move it over somewhere around 4 or so, but...
Yeah, I think right now I'll keep it just because otherwise I think it'll throw me way off, but
yeah,
I'll have to practice that.
For sure, for sure. No, I just noticed it. I was like, wait, what? Alright. Let's roll. That's his thing right there. Cool. It's all good. It's no big deal. Let's make the overlord next. And just get that third queen going in a natural immediately. Should be good. Alright. So link speed. Very good. And then once you hit 50 gas, you want to start up the spine crawler and the Baneling Nest. So usually you would re-rally to the natural right around right now. Cool, and then a Baneling Nest as well. Alright, so it's always pretty useful here to make at least like 2 sets of Zerglings. Alright, so, okay, hold on one sec. So is there like a reason why you're making like the 10 Zerglings right now?
I think I only made three sets.
Okay, yeah, you ended up making 10 right there. I was just curious.
No kidding.
Yeah, so usually you want to be really careful with these kind of Zerglings because you won't really be able to do very much for like another couple of minutes, you know? Or not so much a minute, but not until like Zergling speed is done, and it's not even halfway. So it's, yeah, this is like one of these groups of Zerglings that that I was talking about. A good amount to go for right here will be 1 set for scouting, so like 1 set for scouting only, so you know, you have 1 hotkey for him. And then the other one, like put them on the ramp or something like that. So like if you see him move out with a lot of units, with a lot of Zerglings, you can morph them into Banelings. So I would make at the very most like 2 sets right here, and then, you know, use the Overlords and whatnot for scouting, but we can go over that, you know, after the game.
Okay.
So be really careful with making like the you know, the Zerglings early on, because it's a pretty big income that you're missing out on.
Yeah.
No big deal though. It's all little things.
Yeah, I guess I'm just I guess I'm not used to being coached, so.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Takes a little bit of time. No, I'm not expecting you to play perfect. I mean, that would be boring.
Yeah.
Alright. So usually when Zergling speed finishes is a good time to try and, you know, get a little bit of vision. Just drone really hard behind it, yeah. Good. Alright, so the plan you should be having right now is to go for +1 attack on your roaches and roach speed at the same time. Now the way you can do that is when you start up the lair, you start the evo chamber. So I would start up the lair right now as well if you start the evo chamber. And a little later, you want to start up the roach warren as well. So you can still drone right here. Nothing too scary. I mean, we'll have to look at minimap vision after this game, but that's all good.
Yeah, a little distracted.
Yep. And just start up the roach warren right now as well. And I think right around right now is a good time for extra gas too. Alright, +1 missile always. Let's keep the drones. Very good. Third gas or third base, yeah, both work. Okay, should be able to start roach speed very shortly. So you see like these two upgrades right now, they will line up perfectly. I do want to make sure you're droning, or you're putting drones in that second gas, by the way, and a third gas right around right now as well. So we're going to be way over in minerals. Cool. So if you make non-stop roaches right now, actually let's pulse it once more. So the idea right now is that you make like as many roaches as possible and move out right when roach speed and the +1 attack finish.
Okay.
And the idea behind that is like right when those upgrades finish, your roaches are going to be significantly stronger than his if he doesn't have the upgrades.
So you generally want to go to the attack or roach speed, roach attack, or do you want to go? Is it better to go roach? Like when would you get the defense or armor? You just get that whenever you can, as soon as you can.
Attack is pretty much always more important than the armor here. But if you can get the double upgrades going as well, because your opponent went like super greedy early on, or you know you scouted something a little wonky, you can definitely go for the armor as well. Just like prioritize the missile one. The reason for the missile is that the Zerglings are much easier to kill. If you have armor there, you know they're not that good. But yeah, so the plan right here is to eventually you do want to drone up that base, right? That third base that you got.
Yep.
But in order to do that, you need to like put some pressure on your opponent. So what would be a really good move right now is to make non-stop roaches and overlords until all of these upgrades finish up. So roach speed and the +1 missile. And then once that finishes up, you move out across the map and then you drone up the third base. So while you're basically pushing him, you know, to be defensive, you can at the same time, you know, be droning up and get like an economy lead that way.
Okay, yeah, that's another thing I run into a lot is I'll spend so much time droning up that I won't have any army, and then he'll just come in with like a mediocre force, and yeah. So as far as like droning up goes, what I mean with the third base droning up is like a maximum of like 10 drones or so for now. 10 is a pretty safe bet. So yeah, while you're researching the missile upgrade and the roach speed, make non-stop roaches, and then while you're moving out with that, make like 10 drones for the third base and then go straight back to roaches. Okay. And that's on 3 gas and 3 mineral lines?
Yes, once you get that third base going, you might need a fourth gas as well. That just takes a bunch of experience to see exactly when that happens. You'll see like right now you're going to be flooding a bunch of minerals because that third gas was a little late. But it's mostly just a game sense sort of thing. In general, if you have double upgrades going down, you want to get 4 gas. If you have a single upgrade going down, so a single evo, 3 gases is plenty.
Okay.
But once again, you know, that has to do with how the game really goes. Like this is a pretty passive one, obviously.
Yeah, had he gone in a lot of Zerglings, then would you have still built the Roach Warren, or would you have sort of transitioned more into building Zerglings, Banelings?
If he would have been super aggressive, I would have obviously tried to defend what he was doing, which is pretty easy if you have like you know, you had a couple of Zerglings hanging around that you could morph into Banelings. And at the same time, you also had, you know, still the option to transition out of that. So usually you would try and defend that aggression that he's doing, and then afterwards you want to transition towards this exact thing right here.
Okay.
So usually it's Lair, Evo Chamber, get that upgrade going, and then a little later Roach Warren, and then get the Glio Reconstitution going, and they will always finish up at the same time.
Okay.
And that's like the most basic timing you can do, and it's like the thing that like pretty much everyone does. It's really, really easy to improve from here.
Okay. Yeah, I generally try to go one Overlord every time, or one Overlord per inject too. So.
Yeah. No, that's a good amount. You're not really hitting any supply blocks, so it's looking solid. Yeah, macro-wise, I don't really have anything to say. You're hitting your Queen injects really well. You're spending your minerals just fine as well. I mean, except for like that little later gas geyser, but it's also my mistake. Yeah, it's going well. Like scouting-wise, it's looking pretty solid as well. One thing I would like to go over, but we'll do that after the game, is the Overlord positioning. Because I think you can get a lot more value from that. But you know, that's all things that aren't really super important right now. I guess we can just focus on, you know, the pressure now and go from there.
Okay.
If you have any questions, by the way, just let me know.
No, I'm just trying to keep up with listening to you and implementing that and playing. So
Yeah. So once again, the plan right now: make non-stop roaches until +1 is done and roach speed. Move out, try and get a couple drones for the third base, and then we'll go back to roaches.
okay.
Cool. Oh man, you knew I was gonna ask. Hex.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so try and just make as many roaches as you can right now. It's all good. Okay, so the injects are top priority right now. Very good. And bring an overseer as well, I suppose. That's useful, yeah. Yeah, so you see, like, right now you're starting to float a bunch of minerals. This may be a good time to get a fork gas as well, but that's just, you know, game sense sort of thing. Oh, actually, we never saturated. Well, that's why.
Yeah, that's foolish.
All right. So you want to move out right when roach speed finishes up. You don't want to delay that. You want to just move across the map and, you know, drone behind it. So usually you can get a lot more army right now, but that's just going to require a little practice. Okay. So right now when you're moving out, I would go actually through the middle of the map because that was a little risky. Yeah. And then make a bunch of drones behind it. So make like one big round of drones behind it right now. And, you know, see if you can pressure him out of it. Alright, so let's see what you can do. Keep macroing behind it though. Make the drones behind it. Cool. So there's no need to overcommit if you notice like, hey, this may be a little tough, but I think you can just fight this. I think you can just fight this just fine. Alright, it's all good. So let's start the, let's just go back home now and just start up the +2 attack. Good. Very good. And you may want to saturate the gas in the main then as well.
Other. Oh, I'm running really low on mineral workers.
Yeah, you actually don't have one of them hotkeyed. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Yeah, no more drones than that though. You want to make sure you start going back to roaches right now. But yeah, exactly. If you can, like, if you can find the APM to be aggressive, I mean, you're not gonna get caught off guard with roaches, right? Because it's roach free roach right now. I mean, you can always run away. So technically speaking, it's better to at least be active with your army. Just be very careful though. You don't want to, you know, get caught off guard here. So like after hitting all of the injects and all of those things and spending and stuff, you can totally, you know, do a little bit of moves with your roaches as well. Okay, be careful, be careful. Yeah, let's just go home. I wouldn't fight that. A little risky. Okay, very good. So you notice how we have a bit more of a plan?
Yeah.
So like the next timing to move out would be right when +2 finishes. So you see how +2 will finish up in like, I don't know, 30 seconds-ish? That's when you would want to make that. And usually you should be able to max out right around that time, but fair enough. Alright, so +2 attack is about to finish. Try and max out here. Make like a massive army and just hit him in the face. Alright, try and like not have that timing too far delayed. Because like if you give him a lot of time, he also have time obviously to finish up his own upgrades, right?
Right.
And that timing window is usually the most important one. Okay, so I would definitely want to force an engagement here. Okay, don't micro too hard. Yeah, over microing is definitely gonna cost you a lot as well. Usually just A moving is best. If you see like, hey, I can't take this fight, you can obviously just pull back.
Yeah.
Funny thing is you're actually still ahead in supply here. He just has a little more upgrades. He was just a little faster on everything, but it's fair enough. I think we may have a little bit too much right now. Yeah. So are you really not like annoyed at like not being able to make army and micro at the same time? It feels so inconvenient to go for like 1 and 0 all the time. Is it like really hard to like jump in between? I mean, usually it's really easy for me, for example, to like hit 4 QR, make a lot of roaches, and then go straight back to hotkey number 1. If you like have to go 0 QR, it seems like it's really far away.
I mean, it is a little bit. It's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I suppose I could probably do, try it on 4 because I usually don't have that many combat groups going. So.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend moving it over like to hotkey number 4 or something. Maybe not during this coaching, but like just try and go for a little easier to hit hotkey, I suppose.
Right. And then one of the things I like to try to do is I look at the battle. Like I look at every battle report and like I look at the graphs, and I always like to think that at least during some point during a game I might have been able to win, but I don't know.
Yeah, there was a pretty good moment. A really important one usually is upgrade spending. It's something a lot of people don't really look at too much, but the upgrade spending is huge. Like if you imagine 200 roach armies, and one guy has 2 more upgrades, right?
Yeah.
That's just gonna be massively in favor of that guy, and like that's one of the most important things for playing the Zerg Zerg for the Zerg. So army value and resource collection and stuff is pretty good as well, but it's mainly about the upgrade spending here. Like if both players play perfect, the upgrades are gonna be most important. So does it make sense though to like move out right when the upgrades finish? Because I feel like that is the most important thing to get across here. Like that's true for Zerg vs Terran and Zerg vs Protoss as well. There's like move out across the map when upgrades finish up.
Right. No, I try to time that. It's just having that army on standby ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So just try and incorporate that into your play, even if it's, you know, a little trickier if you don't have someone looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
But like it's always a good timing to move out across the map when upgrades finish. It's always good. Like in ZVT with +1/+1 or whatever style you play. ZVP, it's the same with the missile upgrade and all those things. Like it really does help out.
Okay, yeah. So you drone up a whole lot, and then you start the +1/+1, and then you start building you start setting it up to just build straight roaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then again, the biggest mistake that I could, I mean, there's a few, but not having 16-16 drones in the middle lines and not putting drones in those gas geysers, I think, is
Yeah.
what killed me. I think towards the end of the
For sure.
game, I think I had like 10 drones in every middle line, so sooner or later that bank was going to expire and not get replenished.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, the basic idea, exactly what you said, is to make drones first, then make a lot of army, and then once you do that timing push, when the upgrades finish, you go back to drones. And then you go back to army. So usually you want to try and get all your droning done before you actually make any kind of roaches. Like in an ideal world, you would make 60 workers right away from the get-go and not make anything. And that's like the ideal way to play. Obviously, that's not really realistic, but it's just a good like thought to keep in your head.
Okay.
That's nice though. These things work in all matchups. No worries. It's intimidating when I'm coaching. Yeah, maybe. I don't mean it bad though. Like whenever you lose games, it's totally cool. I understand like you're playing different when you know.
Yeah.
There's a couple hundred people watching what you do.
Yeah, no pressure. There's just a few thousand people watching you. And then if they play you in the game, they're going to immediately know, oh, that's the guy, get him.
Nah, but it's just the idea that I try and get across. Like wins or losses don't really make much of a difference. I get a free sub for this, Loco. Dude, I can't assign any subscribers. Twitch doesn't allow it, dude. I have to subscribe to my own stream. That's how far it goes. I know. Dude, these map names are weird. Bridgehead LE, Moonlight Madness, Dash and Terminal.
Moonlight Madness sounds like a dance club or something.
Yeah, it's right here. Moonlight Madness. It looks actually pretty interesting.
I don't know. Let's do something like, I don't know, Cactus Valley or something.
Cool.
I think that was a nice TV2 map.
Sure. Yeah, oh, right. The one thing I wanted to mention as well about Overlords, because you asked about that in the replay as well, but we didn't really go into it. The idea is to basically have the Overlords put on, like, the attack paths that he could take towards your base. That's the idea.
Right. That way you see any of the Zerglings or Roaches coming.
Yeah. Yeah, so you should, like, also feel a lot less pressure to make all these Zerglings early on, because you can make Zerglings if you see him leave his base, you know? You have plenty of time to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like a little thing to keep in mind as well. Like try and get your, like on this map it's pretty tough because it's a 4-player map. But the idea is to always have Overlord scouting the attack paths that he could take. And on Coda, that's just straight to the middle pretty much every time.
Right, because typically by the time they start moving out, if you see it and start building, your units should be born by the time they arrive, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. You can get your queens on the ramp and you have a lot of time to prepare. So like try and get into that habit. What you were doing right there was good for ZVT and ZVP. For Zerg, you can definitely be a little more aggressive. For
Yeah, I find that most Zerg players that I play ZVZ, they're a lot more aggressive. I usually almost always lose to the early Zergling rush.
Yeah. So it's like putting an Overlord on the ramp is like, or like, you know, an Overlord close to his base, like close to his ramp, is like the easiest way to counter such things. All right. Are we all calmed down?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. It's just, yeah, it's just a little... They're all gonna laugh at you.
No, man, no. Nobody's laughing at you. As long as you don't talk about how amazing you are, generally the chat is very nice.
Oh, no, I'm not at all. I used to be decent. I'll say that I was decent. I was good, but... Whew.
But that's all good. Alright, so I'm going to try and mention a little bit less during this one.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, it's different when you have people watching, obviously.
Yeah, it's definitely a little nerve-wracking just because you're constantly questioning, like, is this what I would normally do? No, I wouldn't. No, he's telling me what to do.
Well, that's good, though.
There's so many voices in my head right now.
Alright, let's do this. But yeah, ZVZ in general is pretty tricky.
Yeah, ZVP, as long as, I mean, I generally keep an eye out for the proxy pylons, and if I can do that, I don't see that, then I generally try to assume, or I'll generally assume that they're going to go air, and I'll scout for that. But Protoss usually aren't too bad as long as you can keep them from going big, massive ball of doom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little easier to decide when to do what, I suppose, in ZVP. ZVZ is like there's timing windows when you move out across the map and whatnot. They're like the 10-second one. Oh, well, there you go, man. Your brothers. Your brothers now.
Yeah. No, I've 8.5 years in the Navy. I'm stationed in upstate New York, originally from the Midwest.
8.5 years, dude. Cool.
Yeah, I'm done in 2, so
Quitting?
No, I'm just separating. I want to go out and go back to college again, get a master's. So I got to be careful what I say. People at work might be watching.
Navy's rough. That's cool though. Were you ever like send that to like another country and stuff? Or
Oh yeah, when I was on deployment back in 2010, my ship's maiden deployment. We went over England, France, Italy, Spain, all a bunch of countries.
Cool.
It's a really beautiful area. I would love to go back to Europe. Just an amazing people, an amazing place.
Well, there you go, guys.
No, I love going around Europe. They were so nice and just incredible people. And then I come back to America and I go, wow, we're a bunch of assholes.
I hear the exact same, like the exact opposite from people that go from Europe to the US.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, people are like, oh, the people over there are so nice. They're just so fat, but for the just so
Oh
nice.
yeah. No, trust me. Like I go over there, then I come back and I go, wow, there's like not a fat person over here at all. This is amazing.
Alright, let's get the quiz going. It's not like that. There's definitely fat people here as well, but apparently
Yeah, maybe a couple, but not a whole lot.
no, that's not a whole lot. Alright. Yep, there we go. I want to get the Zergling speed next. Very good.
I'm already a little behind a little bit, I feel.
Oh, it's all good. I was asking Navy stories.
Oh, I've got a few.
Alright, so keep in mind we want to go for the Baneling Nest and the Spine Crawler at the same time. So it's right around right now. There we go. And then the Spine as well. And then you want to make 2 sets of Zerglings, 1 for scouting and 1 to just put on the ramp. Very good. And straight back into drowning, exactly. Alright, so keep an eye out on your first Overlord. Oh man, this asshole's gonna kill it as well. He's like, fuck. It's my time to shine.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, Lex. Alright. So when Zergling speed finishes, you can use 2 of those Zerglings for scouting and just try and get like an idea of what is going on his side of the map. But in the meantime, you just want to make non-stop drones. And obviously we want to, in a little bit, also want to go up to a lair and stuff. But let's do some scouting first. Alright, drone. And definitely want to re-rally to the natural as well, by the way. We've got a bunch of extra guys in the main, yeah. Cool. Alright, so I would start transitioning towards the lair, and then the Evo chamber, and the Roach Warren. Cool. And keep droning behind. The tricky part is that he knows exactly what you're doing, but...
Yeah.
But just try and like get a little vision going with your Zerglings. If you're not sure how, just you know, run them into his base and like try and not lose them. Okay, can make more drones, drones, and +1 attack as well. I don't know if he would usually be this greedy, because he's playing ridiculously greedy here.
I don't even see what he built. Oh, I see.
Alright. We can start +1 armor here as well. Just make sure in that situation to get the... Oh, did we not start the lair? Sorry, I thought we started it.
No, we didn't.
Alright. Yeah, so that timing push is going to be really difficult to pull off right now. Yeah, so that's actually really rough right here. Yeah, just start it up as soon as we can. There we go. And start up the +1 armor then as well. Yeah, so usually we would go for the timing here. I don't know if you were waiting for the lair to finish up as well. That happens a lot. So I like your Overlord spread here a lot better.
Thank you. I'm trying to be consciously aware of that.
Good. One quick tip as well, if you take a third in ZVZ, like position your army at your third. It helps out a lot. So like your roaches right now, they're in the middle. If he's gonna attack, he's likely gonna attack your third. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you kind of like move your army over towards that base, it's a little safer. Like towards your own. There we go. Yeah, okay. Cool. Alright. So I guess we want to start up another gas geyser and start roach speed as well. Yeah, he's playing ridiculously greedy. I think you're listening, Lex. I'm pretty sure you know exactly what is going on in this game, because you're not doing anything. You're just like, all right, I'll just wait.
Yeah, Lex Luthor though, you know.
It's okay, Lex. Oh, there we go. He's finally scouting. All right. Very good. Try and get a couple drones going if you can, and start up the other bunch of roaches as well. Yeah. All right. So right now we're done droning. Guess we'll go straight back into roaches. Cool. Yeah. So be very careful because he will have roach speed right now. Maybe he's not listening though. Maybe he's just super passive. Okay, so we can still move out right when the roach speed finishes.
Metamorphosis complete.
So try and obviously not fight in a massive concave pool. Yeah. So we got a lot of army actually as well. Just hanging around. There we go. Yeah. Just take everything with you. Make sure it's all on the hotkey. Cool. So usually if you want to engage, I would go towards his third base. It depends on where his third base is obviously, but yeah. Very good. And let's keep moving with the roaches. There we go. Very nice. So +1 armor just about to finish up. Very nice timing to try and see if you can get something done. Well, no, I wouldn't take that. Let's just run.
Take the free roaches.
Yeah, exactly. Alright. Oh, no, he takes them as well, man. Alright,
Yeah.
I think you can fight here, though. I think you're good to fight here. Oh, one attack move. Alright. So definitely don't like move command too often. You have the tendency to like over micro units here. It's much better here to just A move and maybe like do a little bit of, you know, boxing around, I suppose. But like over microing them costs you a lot of shots right there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it would have
macroing-
been a mix. Sorry?
No, I think macroing for a while was something I really wanted to get good at, and then I think I practiced it too much.
Yeah. So most of the time in ZVZ, the micro you want to do is like to set up the concave to make sure that everything is attacking, but that's it. Like you don't want to try and like individually target fire down units unless you know, really are absolutely godlike at it, but
Yeah.
like be very careful over microing right there because it felt like you were losing out on a lot of shots in that battle. you know?
Sort of.
Yeah, that was pretty much an even fight right there, but he just ended up getting way more value out of that.
Yeah, he also had, I think, more upgrades. So.
Yeah, he was actually a +2/+2.
So.
Alright, well, let's just GG out of this one, but it was good progress, though. This game looked a lot more solid than the replays that we looked at, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can find someone else to practice against. I don't know if Lex was listening, but he definitely skipped out on a heck of a lot of stuff. Thanks, Lex. And a switch opponent. Alright. But it's good, though.
Yeah, I think in that game, maybe it's just because of the fact that I'm getting coached. I just felt behind the whole game, so it was constantly like, oh crap, what am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah. What we can do, I suppose, is like try it out against no one for a second and just do the perfect execution. Do you want to give that a try and just see if that like makes you feel more comfortable with that?
I think right now, I mean, I'd rather do it against an opponent because I think I have some of the timings down. It's not so much macroing the units as much as macroing the economy and then the bases.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Alright, let's just do it again. Thank you, Major Wes, aka Lex, for helping out right there. Played well. Cool. Setting up the green colors, crucial.
Yeah, you gotta have that green,
No,
and then
purple.
you gotta have pink in February. So,
Pink
or
in
is
February?
is it February or October? I can't remember.
Wait, what's in October or February?
It's Save the Tatas. Every day, Save the Tatas Day.
Well, there you go.
You know what? Forget it. Let's do it. I'm going pink.
You're set to turn. You're going pink? Sick. Oh. We were looking for a Zerg. Mr. Major Wes, thank you very much for subscribing, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Alright, he was actually a... he's actually a Terran player, so I'll invite... how far right there? Yeah, could you leave the lobby, by the way? Because I'm not in there anymore, and for some reason I cannot join, I don't think. Wait, are you still in the lobby or no? Oh yeah, okay, well, it just bugs out.
Yeah, it has me in the lobby, but it won't let me leave the lobby. Oh, there we go.
Cool.
Yeah, bugged out there for a quick second.
Yeah, bets on that, man. Alright.
All right, I'm ready whenever.
Okay. Apparently you could also play Terran now if you can, or Zerg. I feel kind of bad for kicking him, but...
Yeah. One thing that I remember...
That,
yeah, one thing about Europe that really threw me for a loop was all the train stations. Like, I've never ridden a train in my life till I went to Europe, and then...
Really?
Yeah, a bunch of the guys in Britain were like, you know, I bet you couldn't drive my car because it's a manual transmission. And I go, what are you talking about? I own a manual. Let's do this.
And you're like, the goddamn wheels on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, people actually do drive manuals over there. I don't know. It's the complete standard right here. Very few people actually seem to drive, like, automatics.
Oh, I could never. My Camaro's a manual. I could never have it be an automatic transmission. Not anymore.
Yeah. Apparently, getting your driver's license over there is really easy, though.
It is, and I really wish it was more strict because there's a lot of dumb drivers.
Yeah. I think getting my driver's license, and I got my theory and the actual, like, car driving test in the first attempt, so I didn't spend any extra. I think I spent about 2.5K.
Wow.
On getting a driver's license, and that's like the bare basic. There's a lot of people over here. I think it was a little less, but I think it was maybe like 2.5. I don't know. But I know there's a lot of people here that spend between like 3,000 to 4,000 on a driver's license. So like a lot of people have to like commit hardcore, you know, into getting a good driver.
Wow, I had no idea it was that expensive. Yeah, I think it's like a couple $100 for driver's ed, and then I think there's quite a few states that don't require it. So
yeah. Basically over here you have to first sit your theory, which is like all kinds of car theory, and most people will fail that. And like you have to actually like study and get a book and like do all kinds of other stuff, and then you have to take a mandatory amount of driving hours as well, and it has to be with like a certified teacher, you know. So it's like a lot of bullshit.
yeah, when I went through driver's ed, I had already been driving for a couple of years, and then my family so they were like, y'all gotta take driver's ed, and the teacher didn't like me because I knew how to drive, and so
to be fair, driving a manual is not very tough.
Oh no, I love driving a manual transmission, except when it's stop and go. Then it drives me nuts.
I mean, like driving it automatic is not very difficult. Like,
no, I feel distracted actually when I drive an automatic because I keep looking for the clutch and I can't find it.
yeah, I'm terrified of slamming the brake on accident. Like, you know, because it's actually you're looking for the clutch, but.
No, I actually learned to drive. I bought the car a couple years ago, and I learned how to drive it manual on that car, and I stalled out so many times on the way home.
I can imagine. It's the worst if you're like at a traffic light, there's someone behind you. Anyway, we're gonna get gas as well, by the way. Very good. Make sure to get the Overlord next. We keep getting this one at like 25. Just get it at like 23.
I was getting a little distracted, so I need to shut up a little bit.
No worries. Very good. So just re-rally to the natural right now, and you should have like enough drones there to make the spine and the Baneling Nest at the same time. Should be perfect. Very good. So there should be 2 workers right around 50 gas. Yeah, well, fair enough.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so there's like always a little logic behind it, I suppose. But yeah, fair enough. And then the Baneling Nest. Yeah, don't worry too much about that Zergling. We'll probably die in the main. Well, unless you hear that. Very good. And then massive amount of drones here. So this is like the safest play in the world. Yeah, you want to get the Overlord as well, obviously. All right.
Okay, so I see what he's doing.
Yep, that means you can go to a lair and get all the stuff that you want. Go for a lair, Evo chamber, all the beautiful things called Zerg. But most importantly, you don't really have to worry about much here. Like you saw, he was going for all of those things. That means that you're, you know, safe to go.
Yeah.
So I would make as many drones as you want right now. We can definitely be more greedy here with the droning. There we go. And gotta keep in mind this guy's been watching the coaching as well, so he already knows exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
He had no early game defense at all. I wonder if people play like this on the ladder as well. Like, he had absolutely nothing. No scouting, no spine, no nothing. Well, whatever. Alright, drone. We can get more and more of them. And then the roach speed as well, obviously.
don't do that.
Alright, so just send that guy over to his third base so you can see when he takes it. It's quite useful. There we go. Very nice. So right now I would start non-stop roaches so we can hit that timing attack. Now it actually also lines up with like defending his timing attack, so you know, like it's a good timing right here to start making non-stop army. Very good. Alright, so I would definitely start adding on another gas as well once you like realize there's this many minerals. Oh, that's why. Okay. Alright, so upgrade's about to finish up. Yeah, so give you an indication, if you do this absolutely perfect, you will hit right around 100 to 110 supply here. And it's just gonna require practice, but yeah. Just so you know, have like a goal to work towards.
Yeah.
And let's see what you can do here, and then drone behind for the third base. Oh. One roach gets stuck apparently. Alright, fair enough. If he's gonna be aggressive, just be defensive, I suppose. Don't get caught off guard. Woo. Okay, so keep in mind, just a tech move, exactly. Don't get too fancy. Alright. We definitely do need more drones though, we got way too few in this game. Yeah, we ended up not completely saturating the natural. So that's why. So I would probably just sit back here. Hold on.
That was foolish. I had a bunch of roaches that weren't even fighting that could have been fighting.
Alright, yeah, no worries. So, the idea behind all of what we're doing right here, right, is to establish a bigger economy. Does that make sense? Like, establishing that bigger economy? So, if you look at the minimap right now, you have perfect vision of what is going on the map. You see that he doesn't have a third base, right?
Yep.
So, if you think about this from that point of view, and you know you do have a couple of drones at your own third base, and while we do like a couple in the natural, that's just, you know, we don't really want to be there. But if you imagine that, and you know, okay, I have a superior economy right here, there's really no reason to fight here at all. Like, if you just sit back and make a lot of units, you know that simply over time you'll be able to make more stuff than him.
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. No, I try to do that. I think at this point, I know that I have well, because he doesn't have a third that I know of, because he could have it somewhere else, which is possible. I know that my economy is fairly strong, so I could outproduce him, but at the same time, I guess I'm trying to engage him, but if I have a stronger economy, I probably don't have a stronger army.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's just the idea right there. It's just a bit of a mindset thing. Yeah, just try and get to that point where you're actually like thinking about such things in the game, you know, instead of like microing super hard. So I think you're totally safe to just get that natural droned up, which we obviously already wanted. And then just sit back, get more upgrades, and just make a lot of roaches. And just keep an eye out when he takes his third base. Because as long as he doesn't take it, you should be able to just get way more stuff.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I do feel like I'm macroing a whole lot more on the units than I am on the base, so...
Yeah, so I'm trying to like shift focus a little bit. Or at least like point it out. But yeah, it's good that you're realizing it though. Cool. Alright. Go when ready? Well, it was a little while ago. Alright. Yeah, so I would just head home here.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, so I would just sit between your natural and your third base and put the spine over there as well and just sit. Alright. Ooh, watch the minimap, watch the minimap.
Our forces are under attack.
Alright.
Ah, this is gonna hurt.
Just don't micro so hard. Either run or you know, fight. Like there's no like kiting backwards, because he's gonna catch up to you with roaches as well. Like if he has roaches himself, he's gonna attack if you are attacking as well. There's no way he's not going to, because you're both 4 range. Fair enough. We can actually stop this though.
Get over there. Yeah, that was foolish. I didn't have the 3rd hatchery on hotkey.
Yeah. I feel like you're really like I feel like you're really missing out on a lot of potential though, between switching between hotkey 4 or like hotkey 1 and 0. Like it seems like such a stretch. I don't know if I'm really correct in saying that though, but it feels like there's always a little delay between you macroing and like getting back towards controlling your army. Like what hotkey setup do you use, by the way? Is it just the standard or the grid or?
No, just the standard hotkey.
Yeah, so I feel like 0 SD or 0 SR to 1, it's such a long stretch. Yeah, it's just unnecessarily slowing you down, I suppose. I would definitely work on that, at least for now.
Metamorphosis complete.
Alright.
That's frustrating.
It's all good. Alright, so try and get a couple of drones going at that base. You already got a couple? Alright. And then ideally you want to be very careful fighting here, knowing that you got double upgrades still, you know, being added on, but you can definitely walk around some. Oh, snipe the 3rd. Snipe the... Oh no, I don't think it's gonna happen. Well, you can fight that. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have that much. Very good. And Queen and Jack's behind. Very nice. Very nice. So you can control this, like you can control this fight from the minimap and just see how things are going that way. Oh man, the commitment. Either you commit or you don't. Alright. Let's just run. Okay, very good. Okay. So let's regroup and look at the minimap, see where he or what he did. And I would wait right now for the +2 and +1 to finish up. I think you can totally wait with that. Just make a lot of army here and just wait. I think a spire switch is really necessary here, to be honest, but I would.
I generally like to have it by 10 minutes or so.
Okay. Alright, yeah. Well, I think you could probably be better off adding a lot of roaches here and just kill that base.
Yeah, he's got mutas.
Yeah, mutas are not gonna do very much though. Just make like a spore in each base and you're good.
Depleted.
I mean, he's a way bigger commitment than you do. I mean, yeah. I don't feel like a muta switch is any good, to be honest. It can maybe catch your opponent off guard, but technically speaking, you know, it shouldn't really be a big deal at all. If you just play aggressive mid roaches, you should win this every time. Just keep going, yeah, exactly. Like force the mutas home. Just kill that base and just move onwards. Well, we can look at the third base, I suppose. Oh, there we go. Let's go for the natural. Okay, keep making more army. We have a lot of bank. Well. Don't over micro, don't over micro. Good. It's got a lot of stuff here. Very nice. Look at the mutas don't do shit. Like the mutas don't do shit here. Oh, they're maybe a little annoying, but you know, at the same time, I mean, he's adding on more. I guess you can add on a Hydralisk then or something like that. Or actually, you already have your own mutas, so you may as well just add some Corruptor or something. But yeah. Like, the idea behind the mutas is to catch you off guard, but honestly, the mutas don't really kill stuff fast enough. Like, roaches with +2 armor really don't die that quickly at all. Alright, well, we can just go kill bases once more. Just go, yeah. Alright, and I would add on a Hydra then, though. Or, like, something to, like, counter those mutas eventually. Okay.
Our forces are under attack.
Now, because I have so much minerals, but hardly any gas, at this point, would you recommend spamming Zerglings as sort of a supplement, or...?
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you're up against mutas, they can only be at one place, right? So I think you played this really smartly, to be honest. Like, the idea is, like, if you see mutas, right, just be aggressive. Like, don't let them sit in your natural. Just make a spore everywhere. Because technically speaking, if he's gonna spend all of that income and all of those resources on mutas, you're just gonna outrun him. Like, there's no way mutas with +0 attack upgrades can do anything against +2 armored roaches. I mean, you could see right there, they do basically no damage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's sometimes that'll happen too, is I'll get intimidated by the number of units he has, and I won't really think about how they don't do much damage against what I have, so...
Yeah. But what you did right there was the perfect response to do that. Just be aggressive, and he won't have time to kill any drones. Like, you probably could have just been super aggressive and just not make it, like, even a single spore. Just clean it up with the queens. But that response right there was solid.
Thank you.
That was a good game. Yeah, we were just a little low on gas for the majority of the mid game, but yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I think if I spend more time focusing on what my base is doing and less on what the army's doing, because really, I feel like a lot of times that I absolutely have to macro is if I'm against like Colossi and I have Vipers and I need to abduct them, and then I mean that is going to require a bit of macro. But I mean,
yeah, no, I see what you mean.
But I mean, I try to watch your videos and I can't quite remember. Do you generally, like, if you're going against like a Stalker army, it's Roach against Stalker, do you just auto attack move them, or do you just fire down individual Stalkers, or do you try to go a bit more?
So it really depends on what you're fighting, okay? For like Roach for Roach, what we just saw just now, like the idea of kiting back is really good, but it doesn't help in Roach for Roach fights, because as long as your Roaches are at 4 range, he's gonna attack your Roaches as well, right? Like they're both at the same range. So microing really heavily against Roaches is just usually a waste of attack. So that's why I was mentioning that. As far as like microing against Stalkers go, it depends if he has Blink. If you're talking about Blink, like, and he has Blink and he's just being annoying with Mass Stalker, and you have like a majority of the army, the best thing you can do is like actually attack move and stutter step towards the Stalkers. So basically like have your Roaches hug the Stalkers for the most part.
Right, yep, I try to do that, yep.
Yeah, so like he can't really blink backwards. Instead of like being defensive with it, being offensive with it is better because of the range and whatnot. But it's a different technique versus pretty much everything. Yeah, this was a good game. I liked it. It was good. Once you get towards that macro stage of the game, you seem a lot more comfortable, at least.
Yeah, I do really well. I tend to do really well in the mid game because I'm bouncing all over the map with the bases and the army. But so
yeah,
my APM also kicks up quite substantially.
Yeah, that's a good thing though. If you you were wondering about the Zerglings. I think Zerglings right here at the end of the game was actually really good because he was trying to add on like extra bases everywhere. Like he was just trying to desperately get a third base up and going.
Yeah.
You can totally like add on Zerglings as well and just like don't put them even on a hotkey, but just like right click them across the map and just, you know, have them fight somewhere else where your roaches are, and just be really annoying. Because like mutas, like I said, you know, they cannot be at 2 places at once. It's not really possible.
Yeah, the Zerglings just die really quick to them, but if the
Mm-hmm.
mutas are trying to kill the roaches, then the Zerglings could probably take down a base pretty easy.
Yeah, exactly. Should just
Okay.
yeah, just be aggressive against Mutalisk and it should be fine. I think if you're like thinking about switching into anything in Zerg for the Zerg, you're better into switching into Hydras than you are into putting down your own Spire. I see how you can like sometimes maybe catch an opponent off guard and like get a free win or something.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like if you're up against a good player, it's not gonna give you a single win anytime. Like at most you're gonna have like 6 mutas or something like that, and those 6 mutas are just gonna get cleaned up by like 2 queens.
Right.
So yeah, I guess it's a good assumption to just assume your opponent is good at the game and not go for the switch to mutas. I feel like it's a bit of a waste of resources.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it looked very powerful this game, and you seem to at least have a plan, which is what the main goal, the main goal of this whole coaching was.
Yeah, when I saw what he was doing, my plan became very quickly, okay, you need to get a stronger economy, kill his third, and I think he had a fourth up, so you had to kill those bases, and because they were fully saturated with drones, I think that's what kind of gave me an advantage there, but...
Yeah, no, definitely. But also like the aggressive moves early on, though, when you were moving across the map with the +1 and roach speed. Like those sort of things. Because the replays that we watched, I don't know if that's the case every time, the replays that you watch, you just made a big army and then you moved out. Instead of like doing it with like a thought behind it, you know, and like a timing push behind it.
Yeah.
Alright, so the things I wrote down, get the gas geyser after finishing up the spawning pool at latest. So, you know, that allows you to get the Zergling speed and the Baneling Nest a little faster, and then the Spine Crawler as well to keep you safe. And then have a plan/timing push in mind, which is the main thing that we focused on. And whenever you make units, just ask yourself if you really need the units at that point. And I felt like those things right here were going so much better than in the first couple of games for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that yourself as well, or
Yeah, no, I think sometimes I a lot of times I catch myself building an army simply for the sake of having an army, and then they scout it and they build around it, and then I'm stuck.
Yeah, so Joe, that's just something to learn about, you know. Just think about it after the game and just look at the replay or something and be like, all right, you know, that was absolutely unnecessary. Next time I'll, you know, just make drones instead. I think it's actually much better to lose games because you overdrone than to lose games because you made an army for no apparent reason. Like if you overdrone, at the very least you can just tone it down a little bit, you know. Because like winning or losing doesn't really matter too much anyway.
Yeah, I think those first couple of games I didn't drone anywhere near as hard as I should have. So
yeah, so just try and keep that in mind. Like drones first, then army, you know, and then timing attack, and then maybe after that you can do a couple more drones. But it's mostly just about, you know, making the drones first and then making the army.
Okay.
That's like the basis between with pretty much everything. It's the same for Starin and Protoss and everything.
Okay, yeah, I think the other thing I'm going to try to do is also keep an eye on the money in the end, because you saw like I had 1,000 some minerals, or I can't remember. It was a substantial minerals in larva, and I didn't have the gas to build roaches, so I think at that point I'd probably just spam Zerglings or something.
Yeah, you actually didn't have any of the gases taken at the 3rd or the 4th.
Yeah.
Like you took the gases, but you didn't saturate them, and I didn't want to like shout at you like put the drones in the, you know. Like.
Yeah. It's just the little things like that. Yeah, But generally, if you want gases like 6-8 gases, that's generally for constant hydra production or constant muta production.
Sure. Yeah. You can make definitely non-stop roaches at the very least, stuff with like 6 gas.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a matter of practice, you know. Like those things, they just happen over time, and at some point you automatically like notice exactly the time when you put the gases down and the time that you need to, you know, the amount of time it takes for them to finish up and put the drones in the gas and stuff. Like that's just a matter of practice. And yeah, you said you've only been playing for a couple months competitively. I think you're definitely on the right track. That's good.
Yeah, I think I picked it up back in like March. I started playing a whole bunch, and then like I said, I essentially took 4 weeks off for this final exam, these final classes. So I really wish that I could have done this back when I was playing really heavily, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm definitely going to watch this video over and over again. So
cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I will just send you the notes as well, by the way. I got a whole bunch of them saved up.
Okay.
I'll just email them to you. And also, if you have like any replays or whatever that you want me to take a look at, just let me know. And just drag and drop them on Skype or send them in an email or whatever.
Okay.
And I'll have a look at them.
Okay. Sounds great.
And same for like any questions or whatever, or if you like, you know, need me to clarify anything.
Okay.
Just try my best to, you know, help you out.
Yep. Yeah. If I'm online and you're doing another session and you need a gold player, I'll definitely volunteer if I'm online. So, and I.
Cool. Yeah. So what's your nickname in the chat, by the way?
Calden.
All right, it's the same name. Okay, cool.
Yep.
You're like the silent lurker for the most part. All right, hold on. Calvin. Cool. Sweet. All right, man. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for your time and thanks a lot for the coaching. I think this is going to help a lot. So.
Awesome. Are you okay, by the way, if I upload it to YouTube?
Oh yeah, no. Please do.
Okay.
Yeah, because I actually want to be able to. Yeah, just don't put my last name or anything. Just.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. That's fine. That's how I'm gonna be able to watch the video. So.
All right. Yeah, I'll just upload it probably tomorrow, actually. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, or maybe later this week. But I'll just send you a link when it's up.
Okay, it sounds great.
All right, man. Thank you very much, and I'll
Yep.
talk to you later.
Yep. Take it easy. Peace.
Bye.